so much strength. I believe it's a 4 top lane though.
Yeah, gets chased down now. The Ink Swell will pop off as well, so Mizu will collect himself a kill. Turnaround coming from Van, but the damage is not there from the stanking yet. You can't man fight a Juggernaut at this lower level unless you start blowing up creeps with that Caustic Finale.
Yes, it's looking really good already for Galaxy Racer. Top lane being, yes, but obviously getting timings, either be a fast phase through or just better stat items.
Polison going on to Jamesy here, dealing a lot of damage. He needs a couple more hits. He won't dive just yet, not hitting that level 6. He might get it off these creeps though, and he's going to go for the turn. He uses that one, he'll zip in into the mid lane. He gets mini stunned by Jamesy though, and he does have the fairy fires, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. inYourdreaM will take him down. Nicely played there with that, hitting that level 6 off those last 2 creeps. Made the big difference. Top lane, 343 will go down too by the looks of it. Lena with that last hit coming out. So they will get something at least out of it, but it's just a support. Losing your mid as soon as that storm hits level 6 is going to feel really bad.
Middle tower is under
Now there's no real support that can go to mid.
Bottom lane, they dive the Faceless Void. He doesn't have Time Walk still, but they keep him alive for now. Grims will push KYXY away. So
KYXY's already got a Vanguard as well.
He's
so
huge.
Spam. 3 points retaliate, you can't really trade. A double melee as well for not much magical damage, if any magical damage at all. So it just seems like KYXY is going to have a pretty free game. You were mentioning about the storm now as well with that head kill in the middle. Oh, it's going to be so threatening because if he does show and he's alone, he's always going to get jumped by the storm. As you can see, Apollo's actually got the deep ward just to scout if this is efficient, but at the same time it allows him to actually gain balls bottom. I don't know.
Yeah, and they will move the Tusker in, but obviously this Zeus is going to play it very far well. But that's just going to completely give his game now. Like, he can't stay in lane, he can't farm close to him because they have this Nova Ward up in his jungle. So they're just going to choke Jamesy out as much as they can, and then inYourdreaM's just going to get further and further ahead. With KYXY's Vanguard, he can just have this lane on his own. As you said, with the 3 levels in return, there's really nothing they can do against the Centaur unless they bring absolute bodies down here. But even now with the level 6, Stampede will be up, so that will keep him even safer. Mid lane, Reese has moved over. They go under tower here, but it looks like Olison wants to fight this one. Storm will zip onto Jamesy under the tower though. The snowball to fly out will clip him. The stun from Lena comes out, trying to delay this one out. It won't get the kill though. They'll use the Centaur ulti here to get this one out. They'll finally take down the Tusk at least. So they get something in return, but an easy dive against the Storm. It's just exactly how you said, Godot. If they want to kill him, they'll kill him.
Yeah, and my other problem here is that Cignal are reacting, which is fine, but they don't have the best heroes to be proactive. They can't start the fight and just kill the... So they're just waiting for the Zeus to dove. While they're wasting their time sitting behind them, they're not stacking. And their whole draft revolves around Empower on the Void or Zeus covering stack. Bottom lane.
Yeah, they'll go bottom lane for KYXY. He has this Vanguard, he's just slowly walking away. And they TP Jamesy here for this one. So that'll be a big waste of time for the Zeus. He will clean up some jungle camps at least. But KYXY just, he uses a salve and he walks straight back into lane.
That aggression, that pressure on. And the fact that he's only used one hero in the bottom lane to dominate and force all these rotations. Storm is still farming, getting to... He's actually going for a Kaya. He's not going for that Orchid for a start.
Yeah, going a little bit greedy in mid lane though. He will dodge the stun from Maurice here. Polison will rotate in, but not even needed. Killing spree up on your Storm. Top lane though, Chrono does go off. He'll hit a creep with the first hit. Epicenter. So they'll be able to take down this Grimstroke. Zeus ulti to fly as well. So they'll kill the Jug for getting too aggressive in this one.
They do use Chrono ultimates, yep. But at the same time now, KYXY is gonna abuse the power, obviously, earn retaliate damage.
Yeah, he will go onto the Magnus, doing a little bit of damage here. Not a great deal, as he does have that max retaliate, which he said it's kind of destroying the tower here. Not having a good time. Oh, will use the Stampede though. He'll get pushed back, but he goes right into Mizu on that Juggernaut. So they'll get themselves a nice easy kill here. KYXY will back up to heal himself up with that regen. And Juggernaut will be left alone here to take this tower. It's going to be an easy tier 1.
There's not going to be a trade for it as well, because with Cignal's lineup, unless the same really dominating, you can't exploit him. You can't keep enabling him. Tier 4-3 just covering the lane is going to try and fix. Meantime, Cignal, if they do make an aggressive play, there's no chrono, there's no RP, there's no hero that just jumps in from their end besides this. Gonna go cover the bottom lane. So no aggression coming from Cignal on the top and middle side of the map, and therefore Galaxy Racer can abuse that and out-farm them until they feel like they want to fight. KYXY actually steals.
Yeah, that's real rough. They've got very few stacks in their jungle, and they're just walking through it, making sure that there's no way to come back. 2,000 gold ahead at the 10-minute mark. It's definitely a nice place to be. A Reese though, and the Ripper will get got on by inYourdreaM on the storm. He'll zip up the hill and he'll take down this Lina. They can try and turn around, but he's still got 500 mana, 4 charges on his one. There's no way they can get on top of him, and that will be the Kaya up as well. So going for the more farm-orientated Kaya rather than the Orchid. Does it hurt his kill potential right now though? Like, I guess he has to deal with the stuns.
The good thing about it, the smart thing about it, is that he understands that the enemy's up, right? They're going to be pulled up into the... And even if you do have an Orchid, you don't want to just run in there, because if you lose a fight, you lose... Whereas if you go for the car, you can be more greedy, you get items faster, you know they're holed up, so you don't effectively make use of the Orchid, and going for the Kaya approach is actually a better way to go about it.
Scan comes out top lane. They want to try and take this tower. Grimstroke's the only one defending it right now, but the storm has moved over. RP will be cast, but it doesn't go off, and they'll take down Magnus instantly. Barely on my screen.
Gets the... And 3 already has... And Mizu at the... way. I guess the key moment will be when KYXY actually gets his Blink Dagger, and then they'll make more smoke plays, revolving around him as well as Tusker. But in the meantime, they're very happy to get those first few items before they start running at them.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the net worth too, you can really see the difference with these top farmers. Storm is 2,000 gold ahead of the Zeus. It's definitely not an even trade mid. Top 3 farmers all on the Dire. At least the next 3 are all on the Radiant. It's not, you know, a completely one-sided game. It's not a massive insurmountable lead, but Cignal are gonna really have to start pulling out some great team fights to be able to turn this one. Magnus is nowhere near any sort of Blink Dagger or initiation. Yeah, he's gonna be very, very poor.
Yeah, and the problem here is they don't have enough space. Their cores to farm. Sure, you can utilize the triangle as you can actually farming the hard camp, but where does the Void go? Void will go back to the fountain if he dies.
Yeah, top lane, he will go down, as he said, right back to the fountain, so it's only getting worse for Cignal right now. Godot, it's one of those games where I look at and I'm trying to figure out how they win. And the only things I'm figuring out is like godly team fights where they catch everyone in chronos and RPs and epicenter blinks with that Blink Dagger up on the Sand King. Game of this caliber, the likelihood of Galaxy allowing that to happen is very low.
Yeah, we're thinking more like a pub perspective, like a 2k MMR bracket. Oh man, they're just gonna run into the chrono or the RP and I'm gonna get a fight going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, in a competitive environment, very high skill, it's very unrealistic. So if you do get a kill and the enemy top it off with the chrono, but it's actually just gonna get broken.
Yeah, they will move into it, at least take down the Tusk, but it's not a priority kill here at all. So they will get something for their trouble. They were looking at a 3-4-3 for a while there as well, but didn't find him. but they understand that Galaxy is invading their jungle. They're trying to stop them from getting anything on the map. Juggernaut's farming extremely aggressively in the bottom lane, already having that Battle Fury as well, and Phase Boots. He's got a great timing on him. So we'll just be starting to get further and further ahead. They'll get the stun on 343 though, followed up with the Laguna, and they'll take down another support. They'll ping out the ward. So they will get the steep ward as well. So a nice little minute for them. 2 support kills, got their jungle back. It's starting to improve at least.
Yeah, it's not the worst, and they didn't actually use always that fear factor if one of the heroes too far up alone, and this is a game where you can't really abuse Blade Fury from Juggernaut. If they can RP you, also chrono you through the spin. There is that fact where you can't abuse a more aggressive map by splitting up the lanes and just spinning in front of their face. KYXY might be the target here.
Yeah, he blinked forward to farm a creep wave. Not understanding. I mean, he did it at the right time because they weren't all there yet. He's sitting in the trees. They did scan earlier on and scouted him in the trees, so they can't do it again. Meanwhile, Galaxy are going to move themselves over. They will have a Storm Spirit Illusion go first. Oh, Void jumps out of the way though. They'll initiate onto KYXY. The stun will be there, but can they get the follow-on? Nice chrono coming out the spin, just standing in place. They'll take down KYXY first, moving over to inYourdreaM at least. The ulti from Jug hitting a lot of heroes here. They'll take down 3 though. inYourdreaM once more. He will zip forward onto a... The Inkswell will be there walking forwards on the Storm, and there's no escaping. They'll take down the last, and that will be 4 dead just for KYXY. Not understanding that they'd moved over.
Well, they made KYXY's job a lot easier. Just go on the tank, the enemy team prepared. Galaxy Racer actually play, understanding that if the Faceless Void is that far up, it's very likely that there's people around them and play with his chronos. So good understanding from Galaxy Racer. And now there's no chrono, no epicenter, there's no RP, and Galaxy Racer can extend their lead.
Yeah, they have absolutely nothing to be afraid of at this point. 7,000 gold ahead. Win probability slowly crashing their way. Experience as well sitting at about 10,000. So not looking bright and gleamy for them. They do have a decent amount of D-push, obviously having a Zeus as well as a Magnus. Magnus does have the max power though, so he doesn't really have to do damage, but you get it from the leader and the Zeus, so the pushing is difficult. Sentinel though with the ulti will catch too, the Snowball will come in as well, meets it with the spin coming up, double stun from the Light Strike away, but it won't be enough. They'll take down 3, but now inYourdreaM once more, he will get skewered over, but Grims gets blocked in by Polison, and they'll take down this Magnus. He did manage to get out of the Ice Shards, but won't be enough, and that's another 4 dead in the next minute, Godot, and it's falling apart quickly, very quickly.
I like the warding here from Galaxy Racer behind the tower of the tier 1 middle, which is collapsed. You got the one above in front of the tier 2 tower in the top lane, so you got a lot of vision here. Even if it doesn't actual heroes farming in the jungle, you see the patterns where they move. So if you do see Faceless Void going top, you can play with the Storm well as the Tusker. You have the Blink Dagger on KYXY, you have Silence on 343, so there's multiple ways of the kills, especially considering that there's no BKB yet, there's not going to be a Manta, there's no real defensive item. I see Faceless Void actually trying, but that's not going to be enough.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Scary coming. Cignal. I mean, what can they do right now is my main concern. Is you want to secure an area and you want to farm, but if the enemy team comes to you...
Yeah, they just have to sort of dodge the enemies for the next 20 minutes of Dota if they want to stay in this game, but you run the risk of... You need your Void to farm aggressively or your Zeus to farm aggressively. Someone needs to be on the other side of the map getting gold and playing that sort of high risk, high reward playstyle, or else you're just splitting the farm too much. But Grims will get stunned up here in the jungle, inYourdreaM to jump forwards, and that will be an easy kill on this Magnus, removing that RP from the equation for another 25 seconds and getting the D wards in as well while they're in the area.
And the Bloodstone Rush is really paying off. You have a head start, you're getting those early charges.
Mid lane, they'll jump on a Reese. He will use the line strike, but it is too slow. They'll get the chrono off, though. They actually catch 3 in it. Can they get enough out of this? The Juggernaut will go down first. Storm is there, though. He gets the 4-on-2 with the links together. Zipping backwards and forwards. He'll take them down. It was a great combo going on, but it wasn't enough. They're just too far behind.
There's just not enough damage to split up the damage and kill multiple heroes. As you said before, because they're so far behind, they have limited resource items, and they can maybe kill one hero within the chrono, but once the fight ends, there's still a lot of sources of damage coming from Galaxy Racer. And it's just gonna keep escalating, especially considering that Roshan is a very possible option here for Galaxy Racer.
Yeah, they have the map control, they can take the Roche whenever they please. They obviously don't want to do it when the ults are up, so now's not a bad time with no Epi, no Zeus ult. They do have the RP, however, so they still need to be a little bit careful. They don't want to throw away lives for nothing. But I mean, if Cignal brings the fight to you and you can take it if you're Galaxy, just not in a super enclosed environment where they can hit all their stuns.
Ideally, just Juggernaut with the Tusker there, tag team obviously with the Healing Ward, you can tank it. You force the enemy to come without the Chrono, without the Epicenter, there's just no damage. Makes it a lot easier to force these plays, because if you do ignore the Rosh, they'll just have the Aegis on Jug and it's just going to hit your buildings and they'll fail any concern.
Exactly, and BKB going to be the next target item for the Storm Spirit as well, so we'll eliminate that danger of being stun locked. As long as he uses the BKB before the initiation, everything is fine. Juggernaut does have that Mantra up as well, going for Aghanim Scepter next. So a pretty classic sort of standard item build on here, nothing too flash. Centaur grabbed that Hood of Defiance as well, so lining up with both the resistances. Has a plate mail too. Don't know if he's got anything shipping out to him just yet. Doesn't look like it, so he's got a bit of gold in the bank.
They got the now it's going to be Starvation of Experience.
Got it.
Ultra doesn't have like that. If they don't make a play, they do see Storm who just stop, so they might have an option here.
Yeah, so they're going to smoke up, try and catch out inYourdreaM before they can go for a Roshan. They need to move fast though. He's not showing just yet, so sitting in the trees, feels like something's up, but he'll jump into lane now. But the creep wave is dead. He might run into them, but they'll get the jump with the Sand King now. Follow-up stun will be there, and they'll take down inYourdreaM. A big win for them, but here comes the follow-up from Galaxy. KYXY will jump in, they'll get on top of the Magnus. They'll take him down to start this fight. They still have Jug ulti, but they'll block out the Void. He will turn though with this Chrono, and the Epi is there. The follow-up stuns, they'll get on top of the Void and they'll kill him. They take it down, 2 massive priority kills. KYXY stunning them up to try and stop this chase anymore. They'll try and go onto the grid, but he will link them up, stopping the advance. KYXY will be the next target of interest. They have another Sand King stun, which will go off. The damage, though, isn't there. They'll slowly chip away at this beast of a Centaur. Another stun from KYXY, dragging it out as much as he can, but will finally hit the deck. They'll get 3 very high priority kills on the side of Galaxy, only trading their Magnus. That gave them 7,000 experience as well as 3,000 gold. Godot, a massive win for them.
Well, now we're gonna see Aghanim come.
Oh, Polison scouted out the Void though, but here comes the turnaround. Then we'll get that double stun in. Yours is then. They're still on top of the Void though. Nice RP to try and keep them alive, but it's just too little, too late, and now Grims will be jumped on here. No way out for this mag. It's a death into coming back to RP and dying straight away.
Should be the Rush play. You know there's no Void, there's no Magnus, everyone is alive. KYXY is coming back in 2 seconds. The perfect opportunity. Or you make a smoke play and you invade. Rush just seems to...
Yeah, it seems far too valuable to let slide away. Juggernaut getting ever so closer to this Aghanim Scepter as well. 343 on that Grimstroke. Does have the 4-star, so a nice utility there. And this will just be the free Roche. They have Appy in 6 seconds, but it's too late. The Void's still dead. This Roche is to full. They'll pick that up on Mizu. And do they wait for the Jake to grab the Aghanims and then start going aggressive with the Aegis?
I think they should just go. They know there's no chrono unless they're waiting for some specific timing such as the Axe plus something else. But if they wanted to take a fight, they'd definitely have the, I guess, the will to act regardless of chrono up or not. Just because you can't kill the Juggernaut twice, especially if he's killing Ward up. And KYXY can always disengage after the chrono. If the Aegis does break and they want to go back in, they have that option. Yeah, there's no real rush on top of that. If you get that Aghanims, it'll take your next fight. It'll also tank you up a little bit more. BKB on in your... If there's any other items...
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not really too much to wait for.
Yeah, Centaur already got that Lotus Orb, so KYXY very ready to go. 2500 HP. At least he doesn't have a lot of armor, right? Yeah, he's only got 12 armor. That's not the one thing you can do, but with a Vanguard, it's not like physical damage does a lot. But in the jungle, they will catch this Faceless Void trying to farm. The silence will be there, and that will be a very simple execution. Will they go for more though? Grim's being chased up by inYourdreaM. He's not done. He's still ready to slay, and he'll take down Grim's on this Magnus, and they're just slowly getting run over. inYourdreaM posturing like he wanted more there, but without the vision, they'll just move on to this tier 2. They've got the healing ward, so Juggernaut has no problems taking up this tier 2 tower. Storm jumps into the base. He wants more. The Zaki will be there with the stun though, but he will get snowballed up. BKB now being used as well. Doesn't really do much to inYourdreaM at all. Van trying to get out of this one. He will back it up. They took a lot of damage here, and healing ward has almost run out. Staying up the entire fight though, so they'll feel pretty healthy after this. Tusk actually having a salve too. They might be able to maybe clip out an Aegis with the damage, but Mizu will just start spinning onto that tower and back it up.
Like the two, they forced more heroes to just space, and now obviously with respawn, find some area where there's not his Black King bot. He's very tanky for all the health talents. His hand's got 300 health as well, but his damage is very lack, more reliant on.
Yeah, he really needs that empower to dish out anything. Okay, going for the BKB next, there's no more damage coming. Like even when you've got the BKB, he's already got the damage from it in the Mithril Hammer. Yep. It's not going to improve in any way, so it's going to be very difficult for them.
Yeah, it means pretty much all the damage will be coming up from the follow-up heroes. You got the Lean, you got the Zeus, obviously being the biggest one. But the issue with that is because Storm already has, and if he does see someone, he will just jump the backline with no cares. He'll always prioritize James in fights, and Colosseum might just follow suit as well to think that.
Yeah, he'll find Grims. inYourdreaM rotates up as well, wanting to scout out this Void. They'll find him. He's already jumped. He's in the trees. Did they actually not catch vision? He's good. He's out.
Gone.
I swear they would have caught him there. That was so close.
Got one more minute on. If they want to go high ground, now's the time. Or Jaeger's kind of. Huzzah! They still got one more tier 2 first. But otherwise, you can just take the tower. You can just choke out the enemy pickoffs, which they've constantly been. Husker as well as the Storms.
That's it. They'll put those aggressive wards down to try and keep them a little bit safe in their own base. They have scouted one out with the Zeus. Reese very careful about it though. They know, you know, if you try and deward that, you could just potentially die. But Tusk will rotate down to the bottom lane now. Make sure this void just can't
Radiant's
farm.
top tower has fallen.
And they'll keep moving around the map. They don't feel pressured to go anywhere. Yeah, they have found him. inYourdreaM will get the jump onto this Void Spirit now. Will the follow-up be there though? KYXY just waiting this one out. The Blink Dagger is up now, and he'll blink the wrong way. Van wants to rotate and they'll get the stun onto the Storm. Chrono to follow up as well. Do they have the damage coming out on the Storm? They do. They'll take down inYourdreaM and the backlines. Losing nothing so far for it. Tusker now in a lot of trouble though. Will go down. KYXY jumps into the middle of them and look at the damage pouring out. The Juggernaut has made it to the fight, taking out 2, 3, 4, 3 as well. Goes down. So 3 for 2 so far. Still a great fight for Cignal on paper. A lot of experience.
Finding those chronos just on the right targets with one able to actually. Mizu was trying to flank the back line, but he does not do what the Storm does, so Storm does get killed, but there's no one kill that Zeus very effectively. Yeah, we lose a fight, but they have committed the chrono here. Also, there is no Roshan to be up any chance to control the map. Back alive, they can make a smoke play, they can play around their vision, or they can go enemy triangle and get that vision up there. So still a lot of time in their window to kind of make these plays for Galaxy Racer. If Arbing does find the chance to farm another item, it could get dangerous. If the Faceless Void has one damage item, I think they could still come back.
Yeah, they have held out this game, as we said during the draft. They need to just hold on and not get run over. They're in no way in a good position, being 16,000 gold behind as well as a bunch of experience. How are we looking now? 20k. So the last fight they won, they did get a little bit of a bump there, sitting at about 7,000 experience. So catching up ever so slowly. The Skadi is now complete on the Juggernaut. Going for that Aghanim's Shard next. He does have the Blade Fury DPS as well. That feels kind of standard at this point.
Yeah. Most of the time you try to combo it with your flash and then you spin and hit him and you can faster. But yeah, Skadi obviously anchor, being able to frontline, as long as he's the one getting caught or the Centaur getting caught. Or if they start the fight, I don't think Storm will ever get caught by the Chrono itself. If the Storm doesn't Chrono, they should have a pretty... But yeah, now you got the Blink Dagger on Mag. Chrono will be coming up very shortly. You got BKB on the Sand-King. They actually have a lot of ways of starting the fight. So Galaxy Racer, not as easy positioning themselves to avoid all of these spells. But at the same time, if they do wait out for the Rosh and they claim the Aegis once, they could just go high ground and simplify their gameplay.
Yeah, they just need to be careful not to be caught by these big spells, really. I mean, that's their whole game plan. Keep them still underfarmed, keep them on their side of the map, choke them out of the gold experience, and slowly but surely win this game.
Like they have the same idea to just triangle, got that water, smoke play coming through, and do a nice wraparound, because pretty stereotypical when you come. So they understand that long wrap.
And missing out on it. The Roche will swarm in 19 seconds, so if they can take a fight, it'll be a big win. The Chrono, though, does go down onto the Juggernaut. He will be locked in here with them, and they'll take him down straight away. 90 seconds on the deck. They lose the Magnus for it. Collison now getting jumped on as well. The damage should be here. The bash is coming up from the Void, and they'll take him down 3-4-3, and the backline's going down as well. Now Storm being built up. Can they get the follow-on stunts? They cannot be used now. Jamesy getting on top of with inYourdreaM, but he will make it out of there with the TP afterwards. Meanwhile, in the backlines, they take down KYXY. A 4-man takedown here. Cignal, I've got to be feeling good about this. That's 10,000 experience and 3.7k gold.
Look at the Rosh pit as well.
Just spawned.
He wants that. He's got the MKB as well. As soon as Roshan dies, And they'll have an Aegis as well as the Chief, and there's also going to be an Agony Shard, which will be very interesting to actually take. I've seen a lot of faces forward going for that shard, having that ability to come off back out after you go in. Definitely a good approach here. It does go for it.
Yep, but picks up that Aegis, as you said, will have MKB flying out, not holding for buyback, as with that Aegis feels a little bit safer about it, and it definitely needs that damage item, but they have proven that they can take these team fights, even against that Juggernaut. If you get the Chrono, nothing matters, as long as you get the Chrono on the correct people, and I think this will definitely be a plus 140 Chrono AoE game. On the Faceless Void being so important to these team fights. Juggernaut, top lane, gets RP'd straight away. He does get the spin off though. Will they get the bashes in that they need? These are not going down just yet, but stun will be there. The Zeus ult goes down as well. Sorry, the Nimbus Storm now jumping in, getting on top of the Sand King. They will be able to take one down. The stun comes out from KYXY onto the leader. They'll take it down. Void goes into the middle of this fight. Having this Aegis, not thinking that he can get out of here. They'll take down the Tusk. BKB was used on him. Once again on top of inYourdreaM. Try and get these bashes out. The Storm has run out of mana going on. Getting very low. The Aegis will pop here though. 5 dead. Void will be coming out. KYXY gets the follow-up stun. They don't want this Void going anywhere. Can he jump out? He gets one jump, but the Storm's able to follow. But the turnaround on inYourdreaM. He's doing so much damage. Can they get the kill? They'll take down the Storm. Void does get stun locked to death. At least getting something for his troubles. Another massive fight going both ways really. A lot gained on Galaxy, but Cignal's still showing signs of life with the fights here.
And they still have the Chrono as well, so when they respawn, it's not going to be that easy for Galaxy Racer. That was not an ideal fight. Sure, they killed Music, but everyone else from targeted in the back. So if they do get the fight they want, it would be starting with the Chrono, opening up the BKB, killing Mizu or inYourdreaM, and then saving the RP follow-up. If someone comes in to try and be reactive, then you that RP because they're going to be. You also have the epicenter and a lot of damage from. So it's starting to get to that stage where I actually feel a little worried for Galaxy. They're not going to be that dominant force. They don't have Aegis on Juggernaut who can do high ground. They can lose. I guess the one upside is that KYXY is kind of a beast of his own, right? He's got the shard, 3.7k health every time he gets strength. Eventually he gets a heart. He's also got the paladin, amplifies his reach. Looking very, very tanky, but he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's been pretty difficult to deal with this whole game. They have shown that they do have the total damage to do it though. Like it's there. You know, they have the damage output at this point to take out really anyone they see on the map. It's just a matter of getting the fights that favor them. They have to get the jump. They have to get these very important high cooldown spells off. Without that, it falls apart. It seems like it's one of those things where if they catch the Storm off guard, the fight just seems to go their way every time.
I guess the way you put it means Storm should get some sort of item. There are a few items such as Aeon that could help. Obviously against Chrono, it might not actually that 1 second of duration being Chrono being about 5 seconds duration. Definitely think you can kill him within a lot of But I guess if the BKB is up and he does have the own disc, there is a chance.
Yeah, and what else does Storm Spirit really need? He looks to be going for Shivas, so that does semi do what you're talking about, giving him that tankiness with that extra armor to avoid some of that damage from the Void. But it doesn't. If he doesn't have his BKB on, I still think he dies.
Yeah, he will definitely die. So he needs to make sure when he jumps in, he opens the. Even if he does get cracked, as long as the BKB is open, he should.
Yeah, 343 does put them out here with that ward though. They'll get the jump, they'll take down the Magma straight away. No RP for this fight. Void wants to do something on the backlines, meanwhile so Void in your dream just diving it down. Epicenter will be there coming out from Van as well though. Reed's still surviving this one and they look to hightail it out. Void now rotating in, has that Groner, he'll catch the Juggernaut on the back end and they'll take down the Jug. KYXY trying to get a stun on the edge to slow this one down, but not enough. 1-for-1 so far. Van now wants to take down 3-4-3, but they do lose the Tusk once again. Grim does enter the grave. Now bottom, KYXY, the next target of interest. They have the damage, it just takes a little bit of time. That Aghanim Scepter ulti already used, he'll be going down for 100 seconds and the turn Godot, it's happened, they've survived long enough. They had to buy back on the Lina, but I don't think you care about that after a big team fight win.
Oh, they're definitely turning here. They still have so many towers to take. It's gonna give them some gold, and then once they get that gold, they get those wards, they get those items as well to facilitate the next few fights. It's looking very, very dire for Galaxy Racer now.
I mean, this was Cignal's whole strategy, right? Just survive. And it's working. It looks like,
well,
I mean, it's working-ish. It was
yeah, I mean, that is definitely the basic way of seeing things, because I think the only reason why they got into this, like they actually managed to survive, is because Galaxy Racer has been making a lot of mistakes. A lot of their cores are dying one by one, and they're still trying to fight in the mid-game, and then they lost more out of it than they... So a lot of mistakes coming from the Galaxy Racer in the mid, but at the same time, Cignal Ultra are making those plays with the smokes rotating around, finding those opportunities. So not to discredit Cignal, obviously it is helping. Oh, here we go, another jump.
Yeah, they'll get the jump in onto the mid lane now, getting off the top of them, maybe though cranking out the damage off the Van. They'll get the pull now on the face of Void in the background, Omni Slash to fly out. Void doesn't have Chrono, but they still want to fight. They'll get the RP going off now. Centaur finally reviving. They can't take down Mizu. He gets out of this one. Storm will jump in, trying to do what he can. They'll take down two. And now a big faces Void. He's on his own in the middle of this fight and will go down. Only one with buyback available out of the 3 dead. They got a little horny for that range Rax.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they committed for that without the Chrono being available. It was looking okay when I saw the Sanctum jumping on 2, but there was just no real follow-up. And the RP came a little too late. Even if the RP came a little earlier, there was a chance that Blossom could have probably saved them. But definitely not the fight to take. And they got punished for it. And now they're just going to go high ground. And as I said, there's only been one buy out on the face of Void. Even if he does buy out, he does have the Chrono and the damage from the Zoo. But it's a big risk, because if you buy out here and you lose the fight, the game's just...
Yeah, one Rax definitely does not seal the deal with this game, but they'll get the jump in onto the Magnus and they'll take him out before the fight can even start. The Void bought back instantly when that happened, but he's the only one now alive. He jumps in and out very quickly. Can he? There's only 2 heroes alive versus 5. Storm waiting for his moment. He's got a very threatening aura about him, Godot, but they will respect it.
Well, I guess they could just wait for both Lean and Matt to play again. They still have the Chrono. RP is up in 30 seconds, so by the time they have the RP. But yeah, the buyout status is definitely something to get off. Don't get a good fight, or if I mean just start straight off the bat, then so they could just be a little bit more patient, wait out for the next John or the next item coming on RB, which is very soon. Up only a gold left, but it's going to be hard to farm now because it's safe without the buyout, and you don't really take a fight, and you're the one getting jumped.
Have to be very careful about their positioning in this game. They've got every way to open up the fight on Cignal. It's all about how KYXY and how inYourdreaM on this Storm jump. If they get the initiation on you, they get the follow-up on the Void, they manage to take him out before the fight starts. That's all their physical damage you've got. But if you're jumping on a Void, you've got stuns from Van, you've got RPs from Grims, you've got a Reese there with the Light Strike array. There's so much that they have to worry about at this point. They are still 15k gold behind. Bing though will catch Policin out here. He'll use that snowball, drag it back. Zeus will put down the Cignal as well, and I mean, very low committal having to get that kill. The Centaur uses the ulti to try and slow this one out, get someone away. Mizu comes in though with the swift slash of that small Omni, gets bashed up though. Void holding this chrono, but will now take it out onto the Juggernaut. Storm jumps in, grabs 2 out. They still haven't taken down the Jug though, still alive inside this Omni slash, doing far too much damage. Void tries to get out of this one, goes in, goes out, and he will get taken out. Van underneath the Sigil, trying to kill Jug, but he has that spin. Triple kill for KYXY. They got so close to killing the Jug. They got so close to killing the Storm, but it's just not enough. 4 dead, 0 buybacks. Time to run it down.
Yeah, just a casual 6.5k health coming when he had the 5 charges off the double is. Very balanced, I would say.
Oh, Dota is the most perfectly balanced game ever. Nothing. Yeah, this boy is very tanky, and the damage that would actually come out from that blink is pretty scary. Yeah, that's not really what you get it for, but they'll take out the mid lane, they'll take out the top lane. Playing this one pretty safe. I'm very surprised. Yeah, they know the Void doesn't, they don't know who else has got it, but I feel like Void's the only hero you're scared of.
I don't see why they're not going for the throne. They have 30 seconds with 2 heroes that initiate, not being alone. They can take the throne within less than that, way less than that, but they've decided to go, and here we go, now they started pinging.
Things come out, KYXY will tank 2 tier 4s. They've got mega creeps. They'll take down the tier 4s next. 3 heroes alive. Grims gets an RP, but he'll get stopped with the they'll take him down very quickly. They will kill Grimstroke for it, but doesn't matter. There's no RP now. He has buyback, but the Void's still dead for another 30. All they have to do is not feed their lives away, and they've taken this game, but they're scared of it. They'll go on to KYXY. They do have the damage to kill him. They've just got to be careful not to throw lives away. Central does go down, but the Storm will jump in. The Swift Slash is there from the Juggernaut as well. Easy kills to be had here, Godot. 4 dead, affirmative being called by 343. Walking Van out from his fountain. He will get taken out, and finally the throne should be falling. They want something. Van has that epicenter, but the snowball dodge, they'll get the Hex off as well. inYourdreaM just flexing it out. Void jumping in and out, trying to do what he can. The punch will be there with the spin as well. This throne Godot is still standing. Void just trying to man-fight whoever he can, but the nukes are there. The ulti from Mizu will come out. They'll jump on top of Void. He gets the absolute chronosphere of his life, but the creeps will end this one out. And Galaxy finally closes. Cignal Trust, they looked like they could do something in this game. In that sort of mid to late game, really got close to overtaking Galaxy, but in the end, just not enough.
Yeah, I definitely think Galaxy Race would have been a little...
viên á.
If you do get hit by a spell, you can just activate your shot and it just jumps on. Wanted to, you could probably use it. Get on the
the
lead.
last 8 seconds of damage gets 4-staffed into them. I mean, if Oracle hits you, you can almost kill them with that. They use it on the Lena. Lena loses over half her HP before the Oracle can do something about it. 3 for 3 in the jungle.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No, that's not where you're meant to be. That is not where you live. And the cleave was got on the Chaos Node as well, rather than the 12 strength, so increasing that farming speed. Also had the Cloak of Flames too. Great little item to have on your melee cores.
Yeah, it's looking like a game where Spectre now who he wants to
Radiant's
kill
middle tower is
backline.
under attack.
And there's no real way you can do. Or maybe you can get Doom to count Spectre when she Oracle or the Lena. But then if you do Doom the Spectre, there's Warlock Hill, there's Necro's Mech, Deathbolt, Lotus as well. So it seems very, very hard to kill Spectre, even if he is broke. With
Radiant's bottom tower is under
almost
attack.
4,000 health.
Is this where you get the Ags on Spectre as well? So you have the Dispersion Horn and the Shadow Step. You just have them all, you know? Just create as many units as you can on the map.
Wouldn't be bad. I think he'll just go for some.
Yes.
I guess there's a lot of things you could go for. Butterfly's pretty good.
He's
The
got the level
Adam sounds-
25 as well. Yeah, the Ag sounds dope.
Yeah,
He's got that
sound
plus 32% Horde Illusion damage as well, so making the Ags even more powerful. I assume it counts as a Haunt Illusion,
It
but
does.
It does?
Yeah,
A single target unit Haunt.
Yeah.
So it will be even more powerful to deal with.
Radiant are
He
scattered.
still could always go back for a defusal if he wants it, but meanwhile they do catch the fight in the river. They'll take down the Oracle to start with jump in your dream now on top of man. He's just crumbling in this fight, even with the BKB. Spear does whiff though, as they are both BKB, but with the big smash from God's Rebuke, they'll take down one more. Meanwhile on the back end, Lena has to get ultied with a false promise in order to stay alive in this one. Version is off cooldown though, can cast it if she wants. Does get the jumping onto Polison though, getting a bit too deep without his teams. Dagger is there, Miracle just being pushed around, wants to just get in on this fight. In Your Dream with the slam and the Necro ulti will be there. They'll take down the PA for 2 minutes in the dirt. Reese trying to run out, but it's not gonna work. You're gonna get bashed down by In Your Dream. 4 dead. Tier 2 tower, the next target of their interest.
Dire's middle tower
Roshan
under
is spawning in 2 seconds.
That's
I'm curious to see what wants to
Dire's
go
middle
and tank
tower
up.
has fallen.
I don't think it's
Dire's middle tower is
but he
under
could
attack.
see charge around tested.
Dire's
But Butterfly
structures
just
are
seems like
fortified.
the semi-pseudo for damage as well as for actual survivability, especially against Chaos Knight and Phantom Assassin. Right click damages. He's going in.
Yeah, Doom with the jump in here. He does get the Doom on the Spectre now. Van wants to follow up there. Hitting the crits with that break. The Spectre is melting. And they'll take her down. 99 seconds in the ground. KYXY going to be the next target. Does use the Ghost Shard, but a reset with the stun. inYourdreaM wants to fight this one though. Big damage coming out from this Mars. Will catch the arena bot on the 3. Van the next target. They'll take him down. They gave them a crumb, Godot. A crumb with that Spectre and killed them all for it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Again, in the high ground, inYourdreaM's actually building the is there any buyouts available?
Dire's
None.
middle
They're
barracks are
all
under
without buyout. Only an Oracle to save your base. Luckily for them, the Spectre's not alive. They don't actually do a great deal of physical damage against buildings. Even the Spectre really doesn't. Sorry, inYourdreaM being the big actual right-click damager here. Does have that little axe shift going on.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack.
He can hit
There are extra lines, got the helpers, going for the A on this. Good item choice
Dire's
here
top
just to keep
barracks
yourself
has
alive and
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
constantly get those death pulses out. But Roshan is going to be the next objective here. Doesn't let's try to kill the Spectre once again. The issue I see is even if they are killing the Spectre, they're still losing the. So, what do they need? Maybe they need to flank the backline with the PA while they kill the Spectre with the CK Doom. Maybe they can kill the Warlock as well. Okay, just tries to one. There is no Ghost Scepter available for free, so there are those options still. They just need to make these moves fast. If they clear the lane, they need to. Or also be a little too obvious. And Roshan, it won't take long for
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, PA does start hitting creeps in the mid lane where they notice the damage coming out. And they will get the jump in. Polison though, can't get that hit. With that blur, he gets out. So we'll survive to tell the tale. But meanwhile, you've got Roshan going down. Miracle will be there taking it. It does have the Aghanim shard too, so there's a couple of options. They can give it to KXY or the Mars. Everybody else already having their shards ready to go. Spectre does have it, but someone else.
I do like the shot on Necrophos. I guess you can't effectively use it. So if you try to use it on Miracle, who does get Doom, but it is a nice decrep to kind of fend off the PA as well as this.
Yeah, just keeps you a little bit safer there. PA trying to farm wherever she can, but getting pulled out of here, losing 2 lanes of Brax. They're all still mid, not pushing this bottom lane. The lines are being drawn saying, keep this one away from our base. PA still not being revealed here. They do have that AoE heal as well, with that guard on the Warlock. A lot of heals to come out from this team, as well as obviously having KYXY on that Necrophos. Has the Guardian Greed, has the Death Pulse, as well as that the big boy Death Pulse. But they'll start pushing bottom lane.
Well, the tier 2 top. They do get out the vision on inYourdreaM and fast as they play. Take that tier 2 tower down bottom, them out until they can go high ground. They do have Aegis and Cheese, so can't get any better than this unless they want more items to be able to make it even easier in the next rush. But it just seems like this is you got the Aegis, you tank a Doom, they can't really burst down that unless they commit the Doom. If they do commit the Doom and they kill you, you're gonna come back alive, and then they don't have the Doom to kill you afterward. And you do have the Rock, you got the Arena, there's also the Snowball Save. So it seems pretty easy down these buildings. There's not really any play happening here. Maybe it's in your smoke and wrap around, but because there's so many creeps in there, they don't have the opportunity.
trying to slow down the Spectre, but no one is by the Spectre. They are all staying back, just waiting. They know that they have the heals on it, they've got the Aegis. They don't care about this. They can just simply wait. They have the Guardian Greaves being used now. Miracle will finally take out this tower all on its lonesome, and they give him the cheese as well. They will now go for the jump block and trying to get rid of that first life, which they do. Aegis has been expended, the Warlock ulti will go down. Here comes the Necro though, on top of the PA, still surviving with that Oracle ulti, trying to stay alive as long as she can. Jams are getting very low here. They have lost the CK already. PA does get that turn and burn though, and they'll take down the Spectre twice. Godot not being able to use that cheese at all, but a godlike spree now onto inYourdreaM. They'll just chase them towards that base. PA not much longer for this world. 3 are dead. They killed the Spectre twice, but at the cost of their base. Now, trying to go forward still to do something. Reese here on that Lina will die. They have Mega Creeps after this melee barracks. Did a total of 1600 damage to Oracle. Gives them the well played indeed. Mega Creeps have come up. And it all sounds like it's in good spirits here for these boys, but I think this will be the end of this Vesta too.
Dire's middle tower.
Gotta go with you there, I mean, no buyouts. And it just seemed like Galaxy Racer was faster team games. Seems like their drafting just allowed them to have a simpler game, especially in game 2. Cignal did not have the capabilities. I gotta give it to the Mars. inYourdreaM really played this game so well, winning the middle lane, making the correct rotation. He got so many good spears off this game. He got the help of his to actually lock him down. And he was just huge. He was a major threat. Even if Miracle does die, he could still finish off and win fights for it. Gotta give a lot of props in inYourdreaM.
Very nicely played by in.